Welcome to JBuck Studios presents Shot Ones, the show where we drink. Fuck. Welcome to JBuck. Yep. Welcome to JBuck Studios presents. Welcome to JBuck Studios presents. That one I knew I was fucking up. All right, here we go. Welcome to JBuck Studios presents Shot Ones, the show where we take tough shots. I almost had it. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to JBuck Studios presents Shot Ones, the show where we take tough shots to answer tough questions. And with me today is Cody Michael. He's one half of the SoCo show and a stand-up comedian in Bend, Oregon. Cody, welcome to the show.
Great to be here, Seth. Thank you for having me.
Longtime friend as well. I think most people who know the channel know our story. Mm-hmm. But yes, best friend of 20 years, but I might learn some new things today too. So
I still got some things to teach you.
Well, I don't know about that. But we're here today to take some interesting shots. Of course, Jared was on the first episode. You know, he had an interesting go-around with these, so I'm excited to see where you land.
I'm a little bit nervous, I'm not gonna lie. We'll see how it goes.
Well, I think without further ado, we should jump in.
Let's do this.
All right, here we are with some Beams 8-barrel.
Salud.
Here we go. How do you feel that one?
You know,
how did that take?
I don't think I'm done tasting it yet. Mm-hmm. I think that's my biggest issue with it. A lot of the whiskey I drink, you taste it for a bit and then it's gone.
Yeah.
This is gonna stay with me for a while, I think.
My tongue is a little numb, and I feel it right in the middle. But yeah, that's a good one. I mean, that's a good start. I think it actually landed better than the first try.
It's like warming me down the middle of me.
Mm-hmm.
That's loud. Loud is the way I would say.
Well, our first question, appropriately for Shot Ones, is about alcohol.
Okay.
And want to know a little bit about your history with alcohol. And what's your favorite stuff? What did you start with? What have you frequented the most? And what's your favorite kind of whiskey now?
Well, so the first beer I had,
mm-hmm.
I was 15. Sorry, Mom.
No, Co.
I was 15 years old. I had a Budweiser at one of my friends' houses, and I hated it. It was awful. And so the next time I went out, which was like a year later,
mm-hmm.
I wasn't like a consistent drinker in high school, but I went to a house party like a year later, and I got into the Smirnoff Ice flavored, like a raspberry. And I had like 3 of those and was on the moon.
You're on heaven.
Yeah.
In heaven.
It was a huge thing, and that became the only thing I would drink. I didn't like beer so far because I had only had the Budweiser, and then Smirnoff is way...
Smirnoff Ice.
To a 15-year-old kid, like...
Was it Smirnoff Ice?
Smirnoff Ice, yeah.
So you were icing yourself before
I
others
was getting
could?
iced. I was choosing to drink that. And I would ask people, like, hey, will you buy this for me? And it was so embarrassing. Did that for a very long time. I didn't make my way back around beer until college. Mm-hmm. But really got into all types of beer in college. And then after college, craft beer became a big thing. We started to dive into that world, IPAs and the like. That's what I like to drink now is IPAs. Mm-hmm. But as far as liquor goes, I drank too much vodka in college, so I can't really drink a lot of vodka anymore.
Yeah.
But I only recently made my way around to whiskey and Bullet.
8-barrel, right?
Well, 8-barrel is I've just had for the first time.
Uh-huh.
Typically I drink Bullet. But we'll see if are we drinking any more of this? Maybe it'll grow on me.
Not of that. But I do think though, if on your flight back to Bend, they run out, you can take that with you, dump it right in the gas can.
There you go.
You're ready to go.
Save the whole flight.
Yeah.
That'll be magic.
All right. Well, it sounds like a good and full history with alcohol. I know I've experienced a lot of alcohol along the way. It's a lot of my taste, minus the vodka is yours as well. So. I think we might have to try out another one to add to your collection.
All right. Wait, if I talk longer, do I get to pad the time between shots?
No, because you're not going to let me cheat. We're running. We only have a certain amount of time. Round two. So we just had a delicious, exquisite whiskey shot, burned a little bit. So we need to cool it down a little bit with some Ernie L's iced chocolate.
I like this. This looks good.
You ready?
Let's do it.
Cheers to Jared on the side.
Salud. That is something. You know I'm not a mint fan.
You didn't like that? Yeah, I forgot about that.
I don't mind it. This is good.
Yeah.
This is better than I anticipated when I saw mint on there.
When you go from shit to like little less shit. It's not that.
This one is.
Should we swear? I forgot. Did we do that before? Okay.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Sorry.
You get a good editor. You can bleep.
Yeah.
This I didn't mind. It was nice, especially compared to the first one. Like you said, cooled the belly out. It was just nice. It was nice. Goes down smooth.
Making you feel good. Yeah. So now that you're feeling a little better, ready to answer some real questions. First one is so talking about with your comedy and your stand-up, what are some movies that you watched early on, maybe movies that we both saw or that you saw separately, is any time, I guess, in your life now that influenced who you are as a comic and some of your routine and material sometimes?
It's interesting with movies. The first thing that comes to mind would be Billy Madison. That was one of the first movies that I really enjoyed, that had any amount of adult subject matter in it. And I watched it a lot with my parents. And I think the way that Billy, I was like really young, probably too young to be watching Billy Madison, but the way that Billy always was in the center of the scene, I was like, he's cool.
Okay.
Like he's goofy. He does this outlandish stuff. He's singing to the faucet in his bathtub, but everyone is always watching him when he's in a room. Yeah. And there was something that I think idolized before I realized I was doing it, that I wanted to be that guy.
And he also gets Veronica Vaughn, so.
That is true. Yeah. That had a lot to do with it. Yeah. She's a good motivator for a young man, for sure.
What would you say more recently, though, I guess, because you didn't really think about doing stand-up probably until later on. What are some more within the last decade that you think probably influenced?
Ooh. I think any movie that you know what? I would say the biggest thing would be Dear White People.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That movie came out in 2014, and I had already by that point I had interest in stand up, but I never really had a voice. And once Dear White People showed up, it was kind of it was really satirical. It was really direct about race.
Right.
And that gave me some of my first ideas, some of my first inspirations for jokes, where it was kind of similar to what you see in Dear White People.
Right.
Here's my perspective, just to let you know how weird yours is.
Right.
And that influences a lot of my jokes as they are today, because that's a lot of what I talk about. And so that would be one of the. I struggle to think of other movies that have really directly influenced my stand-up, but that would be one of them.
Yeah, because so more Billy Madison's more humor, and then seeing that people can do that, and Dear White People was the voice. That makes sense, because like, I wouldn't say like you're there's not like a stand-up story that like in movies that follows that, but I can see those influences for sure. So I learned something. So that's the first goal of today. I would give you one from TV would be Aziz Ansari in Master of None, because Aziz was one of my early comedy influences, and then to see him apply his comedy to real life, and then afterwards his specials went in reverse, and he took that real life and put it back into his comedy. Yeah. That was really, really cool. And just, there was a lot going on in that show that was really great for representation and things. So that was one of the other things that was inspiring. But Dear White People, I would say, would be the biggest part. Cool. Yeah. All right. We all learned something today. So.
All right. Knocked it out early.
I think
no more
shots? Now that we're learning things, we should try and forget them with the next shot.
All right. So.
All right. Moving on. Shot 3.
What are we looking at?
We got Maui Blue Hawaiian.
What is this? Is this can you tell me? What is this? Is it a liqueur? Is it like a vodka? It looks like a vodka we used to have called UV Blue.
I don't know if it's a vodka or just someone left Kool-Aid out in the heat for too long.
All right.
Not bad, right? Or bad?
It's not growing on me over time. It tastes like a blue Gatorade with a bunch of caramel in the bottom. That's strange. Wow, okay.
Yeah.
That's not what I expected. Mm-mm. That is not what I expect. You know what? I really hate to do this. I apologize because this is so rude. Can we cut for like 2 minutes?
Yeah, I guess.
I'm getting a phone call I've been waiting on. So I'll even take the shot again if you need me to. Just give me I'll be right back.
Okay. Sorry. All right, fine. Yeah, are you done with the call?
Hey!
Oh, wow.
Ooh. What are you guys doing in here?
I mean, we're drinking.
Can I sit down?
I guess.
Oh my God! I brought my own shot.
Where'd you get? What kind is it?
Blue Hawaiian Maui.
And where did you get it?
I found it.
Where?
in the hall.
Okay.
Yeah, what are you guys doing in here?
We're
Sound
drinking.
like you guys were having a party?
We're drinking. If I drink with you, will you go away?
You pour me a shot.
Okay.
Or pour you a shot.
Okay.
By the way, while you're pouring that, I am Stevie Sparkles. I don't know if you see me. I'm on TV. I have a great workout routine. It's called Sweating with Steve.
Okay.
Have you ever seen it?
I mean, I think I might have heard a thing or two about it, but
What'd you hear? Good things?
I heard you get real like
Sweaty.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What are we drinking to, sir?
I guess to
success?
getting sweaty.
Just getting sweaty.
Oh, great.
Getting sweaty with Steve right now.
Took a real long drink on that one.
Oh
there,
my
Steve.
goodness gracious, that was more than one shot, sir. Whew. I'm sweating out.
Steve.
So what are we doing here?
Steve, well, Cody was supposed to be here for this, and I don't even know what's going on anymore.
I think he was in the hallway. He had a call.
I think so too.
Is it hot in here? Or is it just me?
Well, Steve, it's time for everybody's favorite segment of Shot Ones. We're in the middle of Shot Ones, right in the.
So I'm part of the show now.
I guess. I mean, you just walked in with somehow got some blue Hawaiian.
Maui,
Maui. We had this
Maui.
sitting in here. I have no idea how you got that, but
I'm
everyone's
so
favorite
full.
segment. Everyone's favorite segment. We have to please the fans. So I think it's time for Explain That Ham.
Ooh, I like ham.
You ready? Mm-hmm. So you're just gonna take a look at this ham,
Take a look at the ham.
and you're gonna
explain the ham.
You're gonna explain it.
Oh, I'm ready to explain the
Explain
ham.
that ham.
Oh my goodness gracious, that ham. Have you ever seen Green Eggs and Ham? Or a Dr.
I read
Seuss
it.
book?
Yeah.
That's what the Thanksgiving or Christmas ham looks like. Like the Grinch stole Christmas. That's what that ham looks like.
Exactly.
It looks delicious, but then the things on the end, I don't know, are those like burnt ends or something? I mean, the ham bone in there looks really good though. Really savory ham.
What would you
ask
do with
me.
the ham bone?
I'd make a nice stew out of it.
Okay.
It'd be good. But no, I mean, this right here, people, this is a good ham. Very delicious ham, very savory, cooked well with a nice ham bone in it. Thanksgiving or leftovers, sandwiches. That's what you want here. Sandwiches, leftovers. You save off some ham, and you have some sandwiches with that saved ham.
Well, I tend to agree. If nothing more than just to
Can I have another thought quick?
hope that another shot.
Yeah.
Sure.
Or do I need to go?
Well, I'm really hoping that Cody will get his phone call answered.
It sounded like a very important business call.
It sounded to me like he was getting that wrapped up. Yeah, thank God.
Oh, are you Cody, sir?
You good? Are you doing something else?
I'm sweat.
You want me back? Are we, Seth? Are we back?
Yeah, we are.
Sorry, everybody. I'm coming back.
Everyone, buy my okay. Info is Sweating with Steve, everyone.
What are we in the? Do we want to take another? You want to start again? Are we
Yeah, we
taking
should
the
probably
blue
do a
wine
different
again?
shot.
Okay.
Well, not the same one. We can probably.
Oh, you
just
got a
do-
new one?
Yeah, we
Okay.
can just do a different one.
All right, let's move it on.
Now that we're getting back on track after I don't know what just happened
Yeah.
with some Steve.
Sorry that was my fault for stepping out. That's what I get.
You should have. I mean, I told you to lock the door when you left.
well-
that was the first rule before we started recording.
They're never gonna bring me back.
Both you and Jared did that. Jared did that last time too with some fucking weird guy coming in here. So, but anyway, let's move on. Get a few more
what we got
booze in
here?
us with some cactus juice.
Oh, wow.
Cheers to Jared as well.
Ooh.
Tastes like kind of like a margarita, huh?
Yeah, it does. It tastes like margarita.
Yeah.
It tastes like yellow Gatorade. You're just bringing me a bunch of Gatorade.
Yeah.
It tastes like a margarita or a yellow Gatorade, but it's been in your backpack for like 6 months. Mm-hmm. And you just open it up and you're like, is it still good? And then you try it. That's what I think this is.
Yeah, I don't think I ever had any Gatorade in my backpack. I only had like Snickers and ice cream. So we're here on to the fourth question. We're rounding to the end here, and I think that we're going to kind of mix a few things up here. We've talked about movies a little bit. We talked about comedy. We know that comedy and movies have become a little bit more under scrutiny with what you can put in them, PC culture, things like that. Whether too extreme or not. I guess kind of where do you stand in all that? Where do you think the future of comedy within you're doing it and as a fan of movies, where do you think that's going? Do you think we should find a place in the middle? Do you think we should continue to push on and limit things? Like where do you stand on all that?
That is a tough question. I think that there's this idea of comedy. Dave Chappelle talks about this, that it's the last place for truly free speech and to have an audience. I think that's a little bit of an old school way of thinking. And I think there's a newer school that understands that you do want to push boundaries and you do want to critically think about true issues and you want to push everything out to its furthest point. But you can do that and be respectful. You don't need to use certain words.
Right.
You don't need to joke about certain things within certain times. And I think what you're seeing now is this generation come through, the really young, successful comics that you're seeing on Netflix now, they are able to do both. They're able to be PC and be funny. And I think you're going to need to be both things to be like universally really successful. But what this is also, I think what's born out of a time like we have now where everything is kind of so split is there's going to be a niche market for the comics who maybe are going to say the thing that the others won't or talk about the topics others won't. There'll always be the, maybe it'll become the new alt scene, but the like ultra conservative comic. There's still rooms for those people. And even if it's not about conservative or liberal, but whatever issue, if you're on either side of it, there will be a room for it. It'll be about finding those rooms. And if someone wants to have mass appeal, they're going to have to toe that line in the middle, I think. It's unavoidable.
So for someone, because I know, like, knowing you and your act, and because it's even evolved since I saw you start, because I saw you start to do it, and to, now I saw you about a year ago in Oregon. Now that you're, have had more time and in a different place now even, have you seen your act change? And because like typically seeing with your act, it's like you do a lot of like funny weird jokes, puns, things like that, but you also talk about those topics. Do you think you're going to continue down that road? Do you think you'll be in middle of the road? Do you think you'll hone in on one area? I guess where do you see your act going now, especially having a break and now coming back into it?
Yeah, this is something that's been new to me lately, because I've only recently done enough and had enough paid shows and have built a bit of an audience and things that I've needed to decide, like, what is my voice. And that's not to say that I'm, like, limiting myself. I can still talk about... I still feel like I can talk about whatever I want on stage, and I can change. I'm not married to any character that I have. I'm not like the blue-collar guys, and I've got to be country or else, I can still do whatever I want, but I think early on, I wanted the cheap laugh was okay with me, and if it was goofy or if I could just say dick and that people would laugh, I was all about that. And over time, I've sort of progressed to this point where I don't just want the obvious or easiest laugh. I want to work really hard, and I want to get to a place where everyone's thinking and laughing, and it's more of a challenge. So, and that's self-induced. That's not, audiences still respond well to short puns and one-liners and dirty jokes, but that's not what I see for myself. I do think I'll continue to kind of talk about the issues, certainly the ones that are important to me.
Right.
But I try to do so in a way that's digestible and that's universally funny. My goal in comedy, and what I think if you're truly a great comic, what you can do is you can take something that's divisive and push everyone to this point where we all think it's funny. Okay. And that's the challenge that I really like going through.
Yeah, I think, in order to be successful at it, I think you have to do that, especially early on when you're young. It makes sense to do that. So we're all making...
You don't get to pick your audiences when you're at my stage.
Right.
So I've got to be able to play to everybody at least a little bit. No one says, Cody Michael, I'm not going to his show because I know he jokes about this. So whoever comes, I have to make him laugh. So that helps me in my stage.
That's true. That's a good place to work out and get your reps in. So we're gonna get one more rep in with the final shot for the final round.
Let's do it.
Double shot round.
Oh God, here we go.
So we are in the final round, and as I mentioned before we went to the transition there, we had this is a double shot round potentially. Okay. So what the rules are here? I'm going to give you 3 questions, 30 seconds. you get to answer these 3 questions. They're not yes or no. You have to think about these and give answers, and you only have 30 seconds.
Okay.
So if you don't answer these within 30 seconds, then you'll take 2 shots.
Is this supposed to be when I realize I'm drunk? Because that whole thing was like I don't speak sign language. I have 30 seconds though.
Yeah.
And if I get them answered, I don't have to take 2 shots.
Yeah, when I said when you don't answer them within 30 seconds, you're not going to answer it within 30 seconds. So
Okay.
you're going to have to take 2 shots. But let's start off by taking the first one.
Okay, good. Now that I half understand the rules, let's get it started.
And we didn't explain this drink. Sorry, I apologize. Anisette.
I hate that one.
You don't like that one? That was, in the first iteration of Shot Ones, Jared and I's surprising drink. That was our favorite one because we expected it to be the worst. It was very cheap. And it turned out to be not that bad. It's apparently, as we've been told since, Anisette is some sort of flavor within black licorice.
Black licorice.
Tastes like black licorice.
I was thinking Peeps.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. I don't like Peeps.
But it's not called garbage fuel, so that's not what Peeps are.
That one's, I'd like to avoid another shot of that if I can.
Well, you have a chance to. So if you answer these 3 questions within 30 seconds, then you only have to take 1 shot, which you just did. But if you do not answer 3 questions within 30 seconds, then you will take 2 shots total.
Okay. This is awesome.
All right, so we're going to start the timer. You ready?
Let's do it.
In 3, 2, 1. Start the timer. The first question: favorite comedy special of all time?
Aziz Ansari, Intimate Moments for a Sensual Evening.
That's what I thought. Second question: what city would you record your first stand-up special?
Ooh.
And why?
Des Moines, Iowa.
And why?
The most people that I know would be able to get to Des Moines. I would want everyone I've ever met. I want at that special.
Okay, and finally, give me your best pun.
Oh no! I always have these on deck if I'm sober. Okay, my best pun.
And we are over 30 seconds.
Damn.
We were way over 30 seconds, weren't we?
Well, no, you went 2 seconds over.
Okay. Since you didn't finish, can we still get your best pun?
Yeah. Gosh, my best pun. I'm glad the timer's not on because I actually do want to think of my best one. Give me a second here. Someone just told me ago. This is evidence. If anyone thought I wasn't really drinking, I gotta find one of the cameras. I am, because I cannot think of a pun right now. And I know 1,000.
Once you say your best pun, we'll take the shot. I know one that you do often tout. It's the one about the scarecrow. That's one of your favorites.
Oh, that one is my favorite. That is my favorite one.
Okay.
God, I've gotten away from... I have some longer form puns that I do for stand-up, and I forget the simple ones. My favorite pun of all time: why did the scarecrow get a promotion? Because he was outstanding in his field. Yeah.
All right. Well, while we're here, I mean, this is the final shot of this episode of Shot Ones. We might as well bring in the host of JBuck Live and the creator of JBuck Studios. Come on with your shot glass, Jared.
Bring on in here.
Wait, am I coming in here?
You can come in the back here if you'd like to. Will that mess up the mic?
It might.
There he is. Yeah.
Jared's gonna come in for the final shot.
And we can all drink it together, and then you guys can do
Wait,
that.
no, don't pour him. You can just have mine. This is. I don't want to have more peep.
He
more of this
weirdly
peep
has the
nonsense.
same. He has the same shot glass as Stevie Sparkles. But before we take the final shot, Cody, look into your camera. If there's anything you'd like to say to the people, promote anything, please go ahead.
Oh, how long do I have? The biggest thing is the SoCo Show. It's a weekly podcast that Seth and I do. Go to any podcast platform, the SoCo Show. I think we'll link to it in the thing. You can find me on Instagram at CodyIsFunny. I don't know when my next dates are going to be for comedy, but that's the best place for you to find them if you're looking. And I kind of go all around Central Oregon most typically. But if you want me to come wherever you are, let me know. I'll gladly come tell jokes. I think that's it. I think those 2 things are the biggest.
All right. Well, thank you again for coming on. It was a fun time. I hope you had a good time.
I really did.
And we'll go ahead and take this shot.
Cheers.
Oh,
There we go.
Cody wanted to do that one on purpose. All right. Well, thank you. Jared's in the shot too. Thank you for joining another episode of Shot Ones. For JBuck Studios, I'm Seth Ott. What? I noticed, Cody. I noticed you off in the corner. You had to like back out of the room. What was that? That was.
He said, "I'm getting sweaty now."
Yeah.
I was like, this is way too much of a drink.
I had to hide. I was like, I'm gonna ruin this fucking take.